Welcome back, third graders, to our science lessons. In this video, we're going to review the lessons we have covered in Unit 6 and then do the unit review together. Let's refresh our memory. The remains or traces of an organism that lived long ago is a fossil. Fossils tell us about the past and about organisms that once lived on Earth. When scientists found this fossil, they were able to draw what the original organism may have looked like. Scientists were also able to know to which animal this fossil jaw belonged to, which is the megalodon. We said that fossils can be made of an organism's hard parts or its soft parts. Hard parts include teeth, bones, and shells. The soft parts include skin and organs. We also said that most fossils are preserved in rock through the following steps. First, an animal dies and settles to the bottom of the ocean. Next, the animal's soft parts decay or get eaten by other animals. Then, the animal's bones and other hard parts are buried in the mud. And finally, the mud hardens and the hard parts become preserved. Most fossils are often the hard parts of once living things that are preserved in rock, but an organism's soft parts can also be preserved. Organisms can be frozen in ice, like this mammoth, or they can be trapped in amber, like this ant, and this is how their soft parts would be preserved. The two types of environments that we discussed in this unit are aquatic and terrestrial. An aquatic ecosystem is an underwater ecosystem. Animals living in this ecosystem have features like fins and flippers that help them survive there. A terrestrial ecosystem is a land ecosystem. Animals living in this ecosystem have legs or wings that help them survive there. We said that scientists use tools to dig up fossils. A paleontologist uses a geological hammer or mallet to break fossils out of the rock that surrounds them, making sure they don't break the actual fossil. Brushes are used to dust away loose material from the fragile surfaces of fossils. Many fossils are tiny or have very small details. A hand lens allows the paleontologist to look closely at these details. And finally, paleontologists use this tool to take pictures to document the whole process of excavation or digging out the fossils. In your books, pages 396 till 398, we're going to answer the unit review together. Pause the video here if you would like to read the questions on your own and try to guess the answers, then unpause to continue. Remember, you can pause the video anytime to copy the answers on your book. In number 1, look at the images. Draw a circle around the fossil that was from an aquatic organism. Draw a square around the fossil that was from a terrestrial organism. We have these two fossils. The fossil on the left belongs to an ancient fish that lived long ago. We know that fish swim in the water, so this means they are aquatic organisms, so we circle the fossil. The fossil on the right belongs to an ant that was trapped in amber. We know that ants live on land, so this means they are terrestrial organisms, so we put a square around this fossil. Number 2. What should you do to learn about changes in a habitat over time? Is it A, make a map of the habitat? B, ask people who moved there? C, make a list of plants and animals that live there? Or D, compare fossils to the animals that live there now? Remember when we talked about this fossil fish that was found in the mountains? We said that fish don't live in mountains, which meant that lands changed and that what was a sea long ago is now a mountain. So when scientists compare fossils to the animals that live there now, they can learn about changes in a habitat over time. So the answer is D. In number 3, we're going to select the correct answer to finish the sentence. The remains or traces of something that lived long ago are blank. This is what our whole unit is about. The answer is fossils. Number 4. Most fossils are often the hard parts of once living things that are preserved in rock, but an organism's soft parts can also be preserved. Which materials can preserve the soft parts of organisms? Select all that apply so we might have more than one answer. Is it A, sand, B, amber, C, rock, or D, ice? We mentioned earlier that organisms' soft parts can be preserved in two ways, by being trapped in amber, like ants, and by being frozen in ice, like mammoths. In number 5, select all the statements that correctly tell how scientists use tools to dig up fossils. Remember what a paleontologist goes through when they discover a fossil. So we have the following. Let's read them one by one to guess if the statements are true about the tools that scientists use when digging up fossils. Brushes are used to dust away loose material from the fragile surfaces of fossils. It is true, scientists use this brush to remove the dust off of the fossils without ruining the fossils. A paleontologist uses a geological hammer or mallet to break fossils into smaller pieces. The most important thing that scientists should keep in mind is that the fossils should not be damaged or ruined, so breaking them will do no one any good. So this statement is not true. Paleontologists take pictures to document the whole process of excavation. This is also true. Scientists use this camera to take pictures of all the fossils they find. And finally, many fossils are tiny or have very small details. A magnifier allows the paleontologist to look closely. This is also true when scientists need to look closely at smaller details. They use this hand lens or magnifying glass to study the fossil better. Number 6. In which type of environment did the organism that left this fossil live? Is it A, aquatic, B, rock-like, C, terrestrial, or D, forest-like? This is a fossil of a trilobite. If you remember from lesson 1, we saw this organism at the bottom of the ocean here. So since it lives in the ocean, it means the environment is aquatic. In number 7, we're going to select the correct answer to finish the sentence. We have the following words: usually, rarely, typical, and rare. Fossils of entire organisms are blank. Do you think it's easy to find complete fossils of organisms? It's not. It's actually rare. Scientists blank only find pieces and parts of once living things. So most of the time, or usually, scientists find pieces and parts of organisms that they then combine to make a fossil. In number 8, which type of environment did this fossil live in? Is it A, aquatic, B, desert, C, rock-like, or D, terrestrial? This is a fossil of a tree that lived long ago. We know that trees live on land, so the answer is terrestrial. In number 9, we're going to number the steps into the correct order most fossils are preserved in rock. We have the following steps. First, an animal dies and settles to the bottom of the ocean. Next, the animal's soft parts decay or get eaten by other animals. Then, the animal's bones and other hard parts are buried in the mud. And finally, the mud hardens and the hard parts become preserved. And finally, number 10. Which statements are true about this animal? Is it A, it is extinct, B, it is endangered or in danger of being extinct, C, it is similar to the elephant, or D, it is hunted by people? This animal is a mammoth. They do not exist anymore, which means they are extinct. We mentioned in this unit that mammoths look very similar to elephants living today, so C is also correct. That's it for this video. In the next video, we will start a new unit, Unit 7, where we explore how weather is predicted and measured.